teachers who could use it, but then the technology is not available. So I think that's an issue too.
So training on technology to be able to properly use what you have to be more. Is this cost effective? This use of paper?
No.
Yeah, I think we can all generally agree. And I would suspect if you ask anybody in the country, teach a school, they know it's not. But how do we do something different that's cost effective? And programs are one answer. Using your own paper is another answer. What happens when kids don't bring paper to school then?
What happens when the kids don't bring paper to school?
School, yeah.
You can supply that. I mean, notebook paper is cheap at the beginning of the school year. You can buy as much notebook paper for a penny. So, I mean, that would be a better alternative. I think we're making kids, we've made it so much easier by just giving them worksheets where they just fill in the answer, or even the consumable workbooks. But I think it'll be easier if we just give them the paper. That'd be much, much cheaper.
Well, one thing that I use in my classroom, I bought those little plastic sleeves, not the ones that you put notebook paper in, but I got them from the Dollar General, and they're a little bit smaller than a sheet of paper. They're almost half size sheet of paper, but not quite. I put a half a sheet of white paper in it, and then I put a half a sheet of graphing paper on the back, so that they're writing on essentially their own little dry erase whiteboard.
Okay.
And so if you write the problems on there and you're not getting the right answers, then I can check your work. We can immediately fix it, and then we're not wasting paper. They're not writing in pen. They didn't have to remember to bring this, that, or the other thing, and it's relatively inexpensive.
Okay.
And then I just reuse them. So.
Okay, so now you've just been promoted to principal.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, bless you. You have sinned. You've just been promoted to principal. This budget's come in. How are you going to convince the staff that it's the way to go? You got to change this.
Like she said, show them the numbers. I've noticed that you can't negotiate, like you have to give them, you have to let them know what it's going to be. Not in a demanding way, but you have to show them, this is the budget. If you want this, then we have to give up these copies.
Okay.
Well, and I think it's a good idea to model what you expect to see in the classroom as well. If I expect them to use a particular item that I prefer they use, I need to show them how I expect it to be used. Now, they can be as creative as they want to outside of what I show them, but at least give them an idea of what I think could be a good way to use it. Because again, some teachers would never have thought about that. They would never have known how to incorporate it to start with. And so if I show them, hey, this wonderful thing over here that's an alternative that could save us some money in our budget, they're more likely to use it if they know how they could use it in their own classroom than if I just tell them, hey, we're all going to this right here, and good luck.
Yeah, because you're the new person. It is good luck.
You have to definitely have to have some professional development to show them blended classrooms and some of the other strategies. We're a technology-rich district, so really everybody needs to be integrating technology.
Okay. You can even model it, rather than running off the agendas for every staff meeting so everybody gets a piece of paper, just to have it on an email so everyone's looking at it in their laptop during the meeting, which y'all probably already do, but I'm older. I get away with stuff. So the one thing I guess I'm searching for, and I just need to bring it out in the open, is how could you incorporate teacher empowerment with making a better budget?
Use your school improvement team like you're supposed to. You have them help you look at the things that's cost effective in the budget, ways that we can eliminate waste, and be able to diverge those funds into something that's going to help the students, as in resources, hiring an extra tutor, even incorporate an after school program for the kids that don't have that support at home or in their community, and not have one person be I mean, you're going to be in charge of the budget as a principal, but not you making all the decisions with no input from your team. So use your school improvement team effectively.
Very good. You pass.
Well, and another thing that I thought about too is give folks an opportunity to go see what other schools do.
Hang on just a second. I've got house guests, so I need to get them moving.
Uh-oh.
Hey, you guys can go come through here.
Hold on. You're gonna bark like crazy for a minute.
We'll be fine. It'll liven up our meeting. We're gonna have some barking dogs here in a minute. My guests are going out to eat dinner, and they're leaving their poor neglected mutts behind, and they will make quite a racket, I assure you.
Aw.
Anyway, where were we? We were talking about empowering teachers in the process. We got some input on school leadership team possibilities. Anywhere else that you might be able to use that concept to help your budgeting? Okay, so everybody's going to be completely successful at this. You have no doubt, right? You're going to be able to attack the budget. Think like a manager instead of an instructional leader all the time. Because sometimes you got to actually pay for what you get. Even though you probably believed all your teaching life the principal had wads of money in his office that he just cared enough he would share with you. You're soon going to find that out because you're going to be on the other side of the battle. I hate to tell you. Okay?
What about grants, if you write grants and things like that? Because I've not been trained on any of that, but we had a person at our school, she's no longer there, but boy, she wrote grants for everything she got in her classroom, and by granny, she got a lot of grants.
Yeah, and
So, there has to be somebody in each school that can train the rest of us how to get money,
Yeah. In fact, most school systems have some people who write grants because there are big grants out there, like you say, that can help. And PTOs help. That amount can vary based on where you are and who your PTOs. They're the unhappy dogs for you. They're really interesting dogs. They're both rescues, and so that they're like freaked out whenever their owners, who are my cousin and her husband, leave. They get most upset, and hopefully they're not going to tear anything up. But I'm going to let them in the room now. So hold on. Come on. They've gone to look to see where their people are gone. Okay. I think our class just went to the dogs. So I hate to say that. That's really poor. I have a higher standard of humor in my life. But I think people have it. It's not what you think it is until you get there. Management is a very, very important thing. I'll see you next week, same time, same place. Anybody have any particularly personal questions they need to, or work kind of related questions, or when do we have
to? Just clarification. We put our OMA and our skip and task stream. We are putting in one paper of OMA. We're combining all 4 of our OMAs and making it one paper and putting it in task stream. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. That's the way I've always been taught to do it. Now, what you do want to leave in is where it says task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4. The evaluators like that, I've found out. You don't want to repeat all the instructions and prompts and et cetera, because when you get a plagiarism report, all that stuff comes up as plagiarized. So you don't want to put unnecessary information. I mean, the papers are remarkably similar anyway. Because you use the same structure, you use the same setup, you use a lot of the same books. But when you see people with the pages of prompt information and all that stuff, you know they're going to fail turning it in. So you send it back and say, get rid of that first. But then you put it all in one document, reference page at the end for the whole document, numbers 1 to N for the whole document, figures numbered 1 to N for the whole document. I think that's it. That's it. Okay?
Okay.
That's the way I was taught to do it. That's the way I teach my CC2 interns how to do it. I assume it's the same that Dr. Bolus and Dr. Talent use as well. Also, I'm going to pass you forward to them just as quickly as possible as time's short, especially your OMA work. Do the peer reviews, but also be sending it to them at the same time in internship shell so you can get it checked off and on the way. Okay?
Okay.
Any others?
Right. See you next Tuesday.
Okay. And I had to remember on my own record button, and some of you people are way in the wrong for not filming. So we only have about half of it on tape tonight, but at least half is better than none. You guys have a good week. We'll see you then.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.